Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel and thank you guys all for tuning in again. It is almost the end of the year. The countdown has started. We only have a few more days and that is why your girl has filmed a 2019 prediction. I have 5 groups prepared. You guys said that you liked more groups better than fewer. Understandably so. So I made 5 groups for you to choose from. So I want you to pick one of the 5 groups intuitively. As usual, I would like to remind you that your personal reading may be a mixture between 2 groups. So feel free to tune into 2 readings if you sort of feel drawn to 2 groups. And yeah, you guys, I just want to thank you for your patience. I know I haven't filmed in a few days. I got a new lens for you guys and you know, things have just been so crazy. I'll maybe talk about it in another video, but you know, I've just been struggling with life a little bit. But I'm back after 6 days. And yeah, ready to give you guys some positivity. That is it for the intro. If this is the first time that you are on my channel, do not forget to subscribe down below. Also, if you liked this video and found it insightful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. So yeah, you guys, let's get straight into the readings. Hey guys, and welcome to today's reading. So today I have the full 2019 prediction for you. So scroll down into the description box and click your timestamp. So we have a group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, group number 4, and group number 5. I want you to pick one of the 5 groups intuitively. Just let your intuition guide you. If you need to pause this video just to meditate on the cards for a minute, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I'll get straight into the reading with group number 1. Okay, group number 1, let's talk about how 2019 may look like for you. So first up, we have the 6 of Sky and the Mage. So in the 6 of Sky, I can see that your focus is going to change, and that is something that you may not have expected for 2019. So I see in the 6 of Sky that you may have thought that your life is going to go in a particular direction, and you put a lot of effort into it, you put a lot of drive into it. However, your direction is going to change as you know, you're just going to feel sort of tired on your current journey, and you're going to face your focus towards other things that are easier for you to reach and accomplish because they're either closer in your reach or they just correspond more with you as a person and your abilities. So in the Mage, I see that it's important for you to make use of all of your abilities. So I see that you have all the tools you need for 2019. So you're not lacking anything. However, what you need to do is to make use of all of those tools. So I feel like you may have forgotten about some of the skills that you possess. You may have forgotten about just some of the things that you're good at. And it's important for you to just open up that toolbox of, you know, just your skills and to make use of it. Really use that on your journey in 2019 and make sure that you remember that anything that you've ever learned, any skill that you've ever been able to pick up, that is yours and, you know, yours to keep. No one can ever take that away from you. So I see that it's important for you to make use of that and also to be open to changing the direction that you go in. Because I can see that there's going to be a lot less resistance if you just, you know, follow your intuition and follow what flows the easiest with your vibration. Then we have the Empress. So in 2019, I see that you're going to, so to say, be the rock of your family. I see that you're going to have this sort of wise, giving aura about you, and a lot of people may come to seek advice from you just because they feel like, you know, you have a nice sort of calm outlook on life. And I see that emotionally, I feel like you're going to be a lot more, how should I say, a lot more calm. Okay, I feel like maybe emotionally you can sometimes be all over the place, and I can see in the Empress that you're going to be, you know, in full control of your emotions, in full control of how you react to things. And this is something new for you, and it's just going to make life a lot easier. So I see very calm, content energy coming. Then another thing in 2019 that I see coming for you in the Wheel is that there are going to be ups and downs, just as life brings, you know, on a daily basis. But I see that you're going to learn to sort of just go with it a lot easier. So I want you to keep in mind that life always balances things out, and you know, whenever there's an up, there's going to be like a down, and whenever there's a down, there's going to be, situations where things go back up. So I want you to keep faith and make sure that you remember that sort of what goes around comes around. So in 2019, I see that you just putting out positive energy, you putting out, you know, just a lot of high vibrations. I see that that is going to come back to you, as well as, you know, if you put out self-doubt, I see that that is going to come back as well. Be very cautious of the kind of energy that you put out. And remember that things always balance themselves out. And life is a cycle, okay? Things always continue flowing, and that is something that I feel you need to keep in mind in 2019. Then we have resilience. So 2019 is definitely going to be a year of resilience for you. You're either going to have to be very resilient, or you're going to build a lot of extra resilience. So I feel like this is a great trait to be focusing on, and I feel like 2019 is going to have a lot of valuable lessons for you. And I see that you're going to rise above tribulation, so it might be a little bit difficult. However, I can see in the Mage that as long as you go into your personal toolbox and you make use of any sort of tools that you have to get through difficult times, I see that that is going to help you rise above tribulations. Then we have cheer up. So one thing that I see is that it's important for you to sort of leave the past in the past, and any sort of negativity, any heartbreak, any hardships that you've had in 2018. It's important for you going into 2019 to just let that be, okay? So live in the moment and cheer up, you know, look around you and look at all of the things that are going well and all of the people who are there for you. And don't focus on the negative things, because I see that, you know, throughout 2019, you're going to have to be pretty flexible, okay? The Six of Sky tells me that you're going to have to be flexible and very open to change. When things don't go well, it's important for you to keep a good spirit and keep sort of positivity. Then we have illusion. So I see that 2019 is really the year of truth for you. So I see that you're going to be very much closer to who you truly are. So I feel like in the past years, you may have not really been sure, you know, who you are, what your aesthetic is, what is your style, your vibe, who you want to be, the kind of person you want to portray. I feel like you may have been a little bit confused or unsure about that, and I see that you're really going to embrace your true self in 2019, and I see that happening sooner rather than later. And I also see that that is going to come with a lot of ups and downs, just because, you know, we have the wheel here and we have the universe sort of telling you it's important for you to cheer up. It's important for you to not be so hard on yourself. So make sure that in this year of change and in this year of coming to terms with who you truly are, that you stay very strong, okay? You stay strong and you live in the moment. Don't let things get to you. And remember that when there are hard times, there are going to be good times coming again. So don't feel like if you're in a rut, like things are never going to change. Things are going to change and things are going to get better. And uncovering truths can be very uncomfortable. However, I see that by the end of 2019, you're going to be a lot stronger, a lot better, and you're going to be a lot more sure in who you are and also what your truth is. So that is what I see for you for 2019. Okay, group number 2. Let's see what 2019 has in stock for you. So we have the Earth Alpha Male. So instinctively, I see a very sort of authoritative energy. I see that you're going to have reached a point that you've been wanting to reach for a long time, and that is going to be in the earthly realm. So I see that either that's going to be with your health, that you're going to reach sort of like a healthy stage that you wanted to reach. It could be financially, you know, you could bring yourself to that next step, or sort of that next step of financial freedom. And I see a lot of just laid back sort of authoritative energy where you're very sure of yourself, okay? Because you've tried and you've been the puppy, okay? You've been the puppy, but you've grown into the alpha male now. And I see that it's important for you to give that sort of calm and assertive energy, give that out into the universe. And make sure that you use this energy to inspire others. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be inspired by your journey in 2019, and it's important for you to share your journey, be open with the difficulties and, you know, the things that were not so difficult, but be very transparent. So that's something that I see coming for you in 2019. Then we have the Four of Earth. So I see here that earthly realms are very important to you. I feel like maybe you're someone who likes material things, or material things sort of give you a security blanket. They give you a sense of safety. So in the Four of Earth, I see that you may have the tendency to, you know, hoard a lot of stuff in 2019. You may acquire a lot of new things on a material level. And I see that it's important in the Four of Earth for you to know that, you know, material things only mean so much. So while all of your financial endeavors may be flourishing and you may be, you know, financially doing well, you're in a good spot, it's important for you to remember to not overindulge. Don't put too much weight on the material realms, if you know what I mean. Make sure that you still remember that you are a spiritual being and there's a lot more to you, and that material things come and go, you know, they don't last. However, who you are as a person, that really does last. So I see a tendency to making material things sort of very important, and I see that it's essential for you to, you know, just watch out and keep that at bay. Okay, so we have the Seven of Sky. So I see that in 2019, it is very important for you to keep your eyes open, okay? I see that throughout the year, there may be sort of shifty things happening, and I want you to know that if you feel something is shifty, if something seems like it's not right, trust your intuition and know that it ain't right, okay? So keep your eyes open, as I see there are people who may try to deceive you, and that may be on an emotional level, that could be, you know, in your job financially, that people may try and sort of do like trickeries, okay? People may try and not be completely honest. And I see that it's important for you to really keep an eye on communication. So I see that it's important for you to keep your focus on body language. You know, look at people when they speak to you and really start to learn when people are being sort of dishonest with you, because that can save you a lot of trouble, you know, in friendships, in love, at your job. Make sure that you start to focus on really seeing through all of the fake in order to really find who is real, which, you know, in this world can be really challenging, but it is possible. Then we have the Three of Sky. So I see that in 2019, there is going to be some sort of rift in a relationship. There's going to be some sort of drifting apart emotionally, and I see that that has a lot to do with communication. So I feel like you or somebody close to you may not really know how to communicate. You know, things may be sort of turning awkward, and I see that that is sort of going to make you drift apart a little bit. So I see that it's very important for you to choose your words wisely in 2019, as I see one of the main relationships in your life, one of the people that you spend a lot of time with or talk to very often, there may be sort of a tendency for the relationship to just drift apart. So in order to avoid that, make sure that you focus on communication, and also, as the Seven of Sky, you know, tells us, be very clear, be very open and honest. So I want you to not only look out for people being dishonest with you, but I also want you to tell people the full truth. And I'm not saying that you have a tendency to be dishonest. I don't believe that at all. But it's important for you to tell people how you feel and communicate the full truth in order to avoid this sort of drifting apart of relationships. Okay, then we have the Owl. So I see that it's very important for you in 2019 to start to learn more about your intuition. So I see that throughout the year, you're going to be challenged a lot on an emotional level. I see that in the material and earthly realms, I see that things are going to go well. So I feel like your health and also, you know, financially, I don't see a lot of resistance there. However, on a communicative level and on an emotional basis, I see that it's important for you to follow your intuition and also to just let your subconscious guide you. So make sure that you're very in tune with yourself spiritually, and make sure that you just trust that instinct of yours. Then we have the Dove. So in the Dove, I see that it's important for you to take the leap of faith, okay? So I feel like there's something that you may have been putting off. There's something that you may have tried to do, but you never really had the courage to do it. So I feel like things will align to a point where it is more or less kind of safe for you to do it. And I see that this may be maybe monetary, this may be with your job, you know, maybe you're not quite happy and you want to make a transition, or, you know, it could be in your relationship. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to try out for a long time, but you never had the courage to. So it's important for you to just take the leap of faith. Remember that conditions are never going to be perfect. You know, this world is never going to be perfect. There's never going to be that perfect moment to take the leap of faith, because if not, it wouldn't be taking a leap. Everything would just be secure and easy. So make sure that you remember there is no perfect moment to start something that takes courage, but also keep in mind that great things never come from comfort zones. So take the leap of faith. Then lastly, I see that there's a lot of opportunity in 2019, and I see that you need to grab it. I see that these opportunities may be very fleeting, and right now they may feel like a very distant sort of dream, but I see that they are going to come towards you, and it's important for you to grab the opportunity while you can. So make sure that in 2019 you're very clear with how you communicate and you're very honest, and that you go for opportunities when they come, and that you take that leap of faith. Okay, I see that fear may be trying to hold you back, but as long as you take the leap of faith and you believe, I see that these opportunities are going to come with great rewards. I see that they're going to really have a lasting positive effect in your life. So make sure that you go for any opportunities that come your way in 2019. All right, group number 3. Let's see what 2019 has in stock for you. So we have the 10 of Earth and the 3 of Earth. So one thing that I see in 2019 is that you're going to be very creative, okay? And I see that a lot of people are going to really admire that in you, and they're going to admire the work that you're doing. That could be on a creative level, such as, you know, if you like to draw, if you like to sing, if you like to write, whatever that may be. However, it may also be in your job, okay? So maybe you have what one could consider like a less creative job, like maybe you work in an office, like in a corporate job, but I see that you're going to put a lot of creativity into whatever it is that you're doing, and also a lot of passion and drive. So, but I see that being something that is in the earthly realms to the financial side, and I see that it's important for you, or that it would be beneficial for you to have another set of eyes look over your work. So that is something that I see that you may not have expected in 2019, but I feel like it's important for you to get opinions from people who you trust and from people who you know only want the best for you. So I feel like that other set of eyes looking over your work and looking over what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're passionate and creative about, I see that that is really going to bring you to the next level and ensure that, you know, your work is really as amazing as it can be. So trust in just getting information and opinions from other people, as that may highlight areas that are not yet where they need to be or you want them to be. Then in the 10 of Earth, I see that you're going to sort of watch your endeavors grow, and you're going to sort of be, how should I say, you have this wise sort of air about you, okay? So I see that you've completed like a big project, that you are going to be in a space where you feel content, and I feel like that is with your health or financially, and you sort of feel like you can just watch back and, you know, just count your coins sort of. So that is what I see for 2019. Then in the 4 of Sky, I see that it's important for you to sort of take a little bit of time to yourself to really think of how is best for you to communicate, how is, the best way for you to move forward. I see that you may be someone who doesn't like taking breaks, who likes to just always be full on at their job, full on, moving forward, doing things. And I see that it's important in the Four of Sky for you to really just lay back and take a time out and take time to really think, recharge, and recuperate. So throughout 2019, make sure that you take a lot of breaks. Make sure that you take more vacations than you usually do, as I see that all of this creative energy and all of this workflow is going to require a little bit of downtime, and you need to know when to take that downtime. Then in the Ace of Fire, that just ties in so well with the Three of Earth. So in the Ace of Fire, I see that 2019 is laden with creativity, okay? You are on fire. The Ace of Fire is really there to just ignite any sort of passion that you have. You're going to feel very inspired, and you're going to turn that inspiration into actual things, okay? So I see that you're going to be very inspired by the world around you. You're going to be very inspired by the things that you're passionate about and that you're interested in. And just overall, 2019 is the year of inspiration for you. Then we have self-reliance. So one thing that I see is that you're going to be able to just rely on yourself. So I feel like maybe you've been counting on other people quite a bit. So that could be financially or emotionally, that you have someone who is sort of like always your safe haven. So I feel like that particular person may not have time at a trying time in your life, or they may not have as much time as you wish they would. And you're going to be by yourself in that moment in 2019, and you're going to have to learn to get through difficult situations by yourself. So this may seem really daunting right now, but I see that at the end of it, you're going to come out a lot stronger, and that you're going to learn that there's nothing bad in being able to fly solo, that is actually a strength. And I see that is a strength that you're going to acquire in 2019. And that is just going to bring you overall as a person to the next level, because you know that you can count on yourself and you don't need anyone to be there for you. You know that all you need basically is yourself, and anyone who is there to support you is a very welcome sort of support system, but you don't need that. And I see that you can definitely expect miracles due to that, because you just have so much more strength. You just have so much more energy that you're putting out into the world that is very assertive, that is showing that you're ready for, bigger things to come. So I see that is really going to open your heart and let you be able to expect and receive miracles. So 2019 seems like it will have sort of like a magical touch to it for you. And then last but not least, I see that in Legends, it's important for you in 2019 to gather that inspiration that you're going to have from people who are either where you want to be or have been where you're trying to go. So make sure that you always learn from people who, inspire you in a way that is just positive, okay? Don't take advice from people who aren't where you want to go or who have never been where you're trying to go, because, what do they know? There are so many people who have achieved things, that you want to achieve and that are there to give advice. And those are the people that I see you need to draw inspiration from. So don't listen to any naysayers or to anyone who's trying to give you advice about something and, that is sort of like low-key dragging you down. Make sure that you learn from legends, that you let people inspire you who have been where you're trying to go. All right, group number 4. Let's see what 2019 has in stock for you. So we have the Sun. So one thing that I see in the Sun is that 2019 is going to be a lot better than 2018 for you. I see rays of sun, I see a lot of warmth, I see a very joyful time of you really just living and celebrating the moment. So I feel like you may not have had time to do that recently, or you may have sort of been in a rut or a little bit down. And I feel like in 2019, just overall, the year has a very warm and inviting vibe to it. So good for you, honestly. In the Ten of Sky, however, I see that at some point in 2019, you are going to be at your wit's end, and you're going to need to realize that you need a break. So while the year as a whole is going to be a very wholesome, sort of positive year for you, I see that you're going to reach your limit, okay? And you're going to need to know when to take that break. So I see that it's very important for you to listen to your subconscious, to listen to your body, and to know that it's important for you to take breaks and not reach a breaking point first. So make sure that you're very consistent with work as well as taking breaks in order for you to be able to power through the whole year with sort of like a even level of energy, so that you don't have too many ups and downs. Then in death, I see that maybe the 10 of sky is just sort of like a omen. The 10 of sky is warning you of death. So in death, I see that there is going to be a rebirth, okay? And I feel like that may be with yourself emotionally. I feel like you're really going to realize that you can't go on in life just giving out all of your energy and then sort of being at a breaking point for a few days or weeks. So I see that you're going to start to realize that it's important for you to take breaks, and it's important for you to balance things out. So in death, I don't see an actual death, because the whole year is very warm and beautiful, but I do see sort of a rebirth needing to happen. So make sure that any clutter that you have in your life, that could be mentally, that could be physical clutter, make sure that you get rid of that, okay? I see that that is not part of you anymore, and it's imperative for a rebirth of you emotionally and also on a physical level to let go of the old. So 2019 is definitely a year where you're letting go of a lot of things that are really just baggage. Then in the sky alpha female, I see that on a communicative level, you're going to be very sort of kind, okay? I see that you're going to be extra careful with your words. You're going to learn how to speak to people in a way that will help you get more of a positive response. You're going to have a bit more of a gentle approach, and I see that people are going to look up to you for advice and also seek a lot of sort of emotional stability and advice from you. So, you know, as alpha female suggests, you have sort of like an authoritative aura about you, and I see that you're very calm and content, and you're not going to jump to just saying things like you maybe did in the past. You're going to think about them more before you actually speak. So I see a lot of maturing happening for you in 2019, and it doesn't matter what age you are, you know, you can always reach a higher sort of level of maturity, a higher level of yourself, a higher level of, you know, just being a person, a higher level of sort of, you know, emotional quality. So that is what I see for you in 2019. So we have new beginnings. So alongside with death, I feel like new beginnings just ties in so perfectly. You know, there are going to be new beginnings. You're going to begin a new chapter in your life as you let go of this old chapter that no longer serves you and is no longer for your highest good. So I see that this is something to look forward to, because overall the year is very bright and is very warm. And while you are going to reach your breaking point and you are going to have to realize that there are better ways to handle your time and your energy, there is also going to be a new beginning and new sort of light and hope. Then we have the peacock. So I see that alongside with the new beginning and alongside with letting go of old sort of things that you don't need, I see that you're also going to let go of old limiting beliefs. So I feel like, especially maybe on an emotional level in your relationship, or if you are single, you know, with who you're sort of striving to be with, I see that you're going to raise your standards. You're going to know that you don't need to be treated sort of as if you're replaceable or a commodity. You're going to know your worth, and you're going to raise your standards accordingly. I see that the old you who wasn't quite sure what you deserve, or, you know, if you're putting your standards too high, I see that you're going to leave that in the past. And the peacock tells me that you're going to raise your standards and you're going to be confident in it. You're going to take what you deserve, and you're going to demand respect, and you're going to demand the sort of emotional stability that you deserve, and, you know, just that you've always wanted. Then we have animal bonds. So I see that you're someone who really loves animals. I see that you're just overall like an animal lover. You like nature, you like animals, and maybe you have pets, and you know, this is a time where a special sort of bonding time next year. You may have been going through sort of a difficult time, and then you feel you can rely on your pets, you know, in that time. Or maybe you've been thinking of adopting a dog, a rabbit, a cat, any sort of animal from a shelter, or just generally. And I see that next year would be the year to move forward with that. I see that next year is a year where you're going to be a lot more closer to, you know, our animal companions, our animal friends, and that bond is going to be a lot stronger. So overall, I see a very warm and beautiful year for you, as well as one where you connect with not only humans but also animals. So that is what I see for you in 2019. All right, group number 5. Let's see what 2019 holds in stock for you. So we have the Earth Puppy. So I see in the Earth Puppy that you're going to sort of have this new beginner energy, so to say, and I see that being either, you know, health-wise, you're going to start something new, or financially, you know, in your job, in whatever it is that you do. I feel like there's like a new endeavor that you're going to start, and you're going to have this beginner mind, this beginner energy, and that can be so valuable, because when you've been in the game for a long time, or you've been doing the same thing for a long time, you can sometimes just fall into a routine and not sort of have that fresh, clear vision that someone who is new at something has. So I see that you're going to be new at something, and I feel like, you know, because it is the Earth Puppy, because it is the Pentacle suit, I see that that is going to either be, you know, maybe it's a new workout regimen, a new diet, or you're going to start something new in the financial aspect. You know, it may be a completely new job, or it could be a new facet to your job. And I see that that beginner energy is going to really serve you well. However, don't be too naive. So that is always, you know, sort of the downfall of the puppy. That is always the downfall of the page, that you may be a little bit naive. So make sure that you keep your eyes very open. However, embrace that beginner energy, as it could be very helpful. Then in the Two of Earth, I see that it's important for you to balance things out. Things aren't always as they seem. So there can be little things that all of a sudden bring the big picture into balance. It doesn't always need to be the bigger things that, you know, balance out what seems like also a big thing. I feel like you're really going to reevaluate, you know, what brings your life into balance, and you're going to start realizing that it may be just the little things in life. It may be just giving yourself those extra 10 minutes in the morning to just sit down and have a breakfast. It may be just taking that, you know, bath once a week and using that beautiful bath bomb and just doing some aromatherapy. Like, there may be little things that bring you a lot more into balance, and that bring you on an emotional and spiritual level a lot more into balance than you ever thought that they could. So I see that in 2019, you're going to be focusing on the little things, and it's going to serve you well. Then in the Sky Alpha Male, I see that on a communicative level, you're going to be very assertive, you're going to be very clear, and you know, you're going to be very sure of how you speak to people. And I see that you're going to have an air of authority, and sort of, how should I say, people may even be intimidated by you. So I see that in 2019, you have the tendency to be intimidating. So I see that it's important for you to, you know, be a little gentler, be very sort of in tune with your emotional side, as I see that you may be lacking a little bit of emotion. So that is what I see for 2019. Alongside that, I see that it's important for you to, you know, have strength. I see that strength is something that you're going to need, and you watching this reading is no like coincidence. You know, I see in this Sky Alpha Male that you may be someone who isn't very, how should I say, you like to say things clearly how they are, and you don't like to beat around the bush. So I see that it's important in strength for you to have compassion and patience, because true strength is really just having compassion with other people, being understanding, and also, you know, being patient with other people. So in 2019, I see that if you just watch your words and make sure that you always do everything in a very loving way, you're still your truthful self, but in a more loving way, and you have that compassion and that patience with people, I see that that is going to serve you immensely well in 2019. Then we have competition. So one thing that I see is that you're going to need a lot of self-confidence. You're going to have to build that extra layer, that extra sort of level of self-confidence, as I see that there may be sort of a lot of competition. So that may be because you are starting out a new venture. You know, that's why you have a lot of competition, because you're just starting out and you sort of have not made that niche for yourself. You haven't created that sort of spot where you know that you are dominating in that part of life and that part of business. So I see that you're going to need a lot of courage, self-discipline, as well as confidence. So remember that confidence is key with competition. Whoever isn't confident is going to, you know, cave, is going to be the one who does not go on to move to the top. So make sure that you're very confident and that you know your strengths as well as your weaknesses. Then we have originality. So I see that 2019 is really going to sort of be, how should I say, it's going to be amplified as long as you're very original. So I see that in the Earth Puppy, with you having this new endeavor and you having this beginner energy, I see that if you put your original touch to it, I see that really, you know, putting you above the competition. So make sure that everything you do, you have that original touch to it. You make things a lot more personal, a lot more relatable. Whatever you do, make sure you make it relatable, as that is going to put you above the competition. So remain professional, however, also keep that fine line of being relatable, because I see that that is going to set you apart from competition, and that is going to really inspire people and make people want to work with you. Then we have knowledge. So one thing that I see is that you're going to be a lot, how should I say, your 2019 is going to be a learning curve for you. So I see that you are going to feel sort of overwhelmed at the beginning of 2019, and you're going to feel like there is so much information to take in. So that may be because, you know, you're studying or you're starting this new venture in your job, and it's going to feel like a lot. But as soon as you've sort of stepped over that first threshold that is holding you back, as soon as you've learned that first big load, I see that things are going to go a lot easier. So make sure that you're very persistent with learning, and that you're very persistent with really refining the skills that you have, as I see that that is going to help you immensely with any sort of competition that may be here in 2019, and that is going to put you above the competition and have you soar above everyone else, just doing your own thing in your own original way. So yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope you found it insightful, and I will see you guys either in my next reading or in the next year. I wish you guys all an amazing, really positive day, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.